Glad to see you.
How you doing, buddy? Thought you might need a little company.
How'd you get in here?
Just walk. There's no guard on the door.
What about Dante?
He's being kept busy by Jackie, but we don't have long. He'll figure out what's going on, come up here and rouse me. It's good to hear your dulcet tones again.
Thank you. I'm walking, too, man. I almost found Dan, but Dante caught me. He said Dan's still in a coma.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard. Listen, you're going to have to put up with Ramsey very shortly, too.
I figured. Robert, what happened?
She's gone, mate.
When Dante was bringing me to, he kept shining a light in my eyes, asking me how I feel, but he wouldn't tell me anything.
Well, we pretty well pieced it together. Holly's father pretended to be Charles Corso. Now they've gone.
With the money?
All but $500,000, which they left in the bank.
Generous.
You okay?
Oh, come on. Don't start that with me. Everybody around here, that's all I ask, if I'm okay or not.
I'm talking about your heart, not your head.
Does it show?
Did she say anything to you?
She told me all of it. We were going to the police. We were going to try and reach you first.
Holly, too?
Yeah. Yeah, we wanted you to warn her father, but they must have got to her. I never thought she'd sign that check.
Maybe she had no choice.
Maybe they forced her.
You point a gun at someone, they do funny things.
You know, I don't think it was her. I mean, I know it wasn't her. It was her father. Everything that she did, she did out of fear for her father's life. She was ready to leave him. She told me she loved me.
How do you feel about her?
You have to ask.
This whole mess is as bad as it looks, isn't it?
Listen, Robert, I gotta find her.
I've just come from London. There's no sign, there's no trace. I don't know. I don't understand. I have no idea. I'm open to ideas.
Well, I don't have any yet. But I will find her. I will. If I can get out of here.
Yeah, okay. Right. Okay, come on. Let's forget that. Let's not rush anything, all right? You're here for a while, whether you like it or not. In the meantime, you're going to have to put up with Ramsey's questioning. Now, you ready for that?
Are you sure? I haven't got anything to hide. Robert, do something for me.
You got it.
Find her. Find her, please. I've got to see Holly again. Can you find her for me, Robert? Find her, please.
Yeah.
Robert, going to the police is only going to confuse the issue.
Things can't be too much more bloody confused, can
Will
they?
you be reasonable? Let's just go sit down, man. Let's have a nice quiet drink. We'll discuss it.
We'll discuss our deal. The deal that said that we try it your way, and if that doesn't work, then we'll try it my way. Your way doesn't work, so I'm going to the DIM.
All right, fine. You go to the DIM. Go to anybody you like. But what makes you think anybody here is going to believe us, Robert? The Durbans are a very influential, powerful family. We're a couple of inconsequential foreigners, man. Why should they believe our word against the Durbans?
I've always found them to be an impartial body.
Give me a break, pal. Who do you think you're talking to here, huh? Even if any government agency is impartial, which I doubt, and they believe us, how long is it going to take? For all the paperwork to come from Port Charles here, to go through the courts, to get the warrants. By the time that happens, man, the Durbans are going to be gone with that money.
Which was a great argument for going to the police in the first place.
All right, I give you that. I was wrong, okay? I was wrong, but we didn't go to the police. If you go to the police now, what good is it going to do? We can find them faster than the cops.
Makes you sure we can find them.
Because we already found them. We're here, aren't we? Robert, please. Don't go to the police. You're going to blow it. Just a few more days. A few more days. I swear to you, that's all it'll take. Please.
How important is she to you?
I need to see her and find out.
Oh, it's a bag full of money. 5 days, do you?
5 days is perfect. In 5 days, we can solve this. And if we don't, I swear to you, in 5 days, I will come with you to the day I am.
I just know you're going to think of something. How about kick it off with a large drink of scotch or whatever, maybe?
How about a bottle? Forget the soda. Thank you, Robert. This hotel?
Is that the closest?
My favorite.
Look, I don't know how much longer my legs are going to last here.
You're getting old, Robert. They say that's the first to go is your legs.
I thought it was something else.
Well, it starts in the legs and moves up from there.
Look, I wouldn't mind if there was a hope in hell that this was going to work.
Robert, it's just going to take a little time. That's all you got to do is give us a little more time. We've got quite a few more here to cover.
Look, it's not the time I'm worried about. It's the ground we got to cover. Plus, we're looking for obscure bloody tea that nobody's ever heard
Well,
of.
that's the whole point. If it weren't obscure, it would be impossible to find because it's a blend, a very special blend that Holly's nurse always had put together.
All right already. Now, how many more on the list?
I don't think you want to know. I tell you what, look, let's just check this next one. It should be around the corner there. If that's a no-go, we'll take a coffee break.
All this, and you want to have a coffee break?
Oh, will that be all, sir?
Yes, thank you, William.
I remember how you used to enjoy morning tea, Miss Holly.
This doesn't look like Nanny's tea.
It's not, I'm afraid. We seem to have exhausted our supply.
Then I suppose this'll have to do.
You'll ring if there's anything else.
Thanks, William. Sugar?
No, what I'd really like is a nice cup of black coffee.
Well, all you have to do is ring.
Well, you know me.
Still uncomfortable with the British traditions.
Well, you certainly steep yourself in it. You're more like your mother every day.
Is that so terrible?
Oh, no, darling, of course not. I still can't get used to these small cups. I remember your mother telling me one time that I would never fit into British society because I'm not a sipper, I'm a gulper. You know, now that I think of it, she was right.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Well, it's the sea air and the countryside. But more than anything, it's because you're safe. I just wish you could relax and enjoy it, too.
I'm trying. Father, when we get back, could I phone Nanny?
I don't think they'll approve, darling.
Oh, I don't care. It would just be so comforting to hear her voice again.
All right, we'll see. Now, finish your tea. I wouldn't want it to go to waste.
Okay. I have gone beyond tired. I am now bloody exhausted.
Come on, Robert. We took a break not long ago.
Yeah, that was 5 stores and about 10 miles back.
Well, if it's any consolation, we've only got 4 stores left, so that's only, what, maybe 8.5 miles to go.
Yes, sir. May I help you, gentlemen?
Yes, we're looking for a particular kind of tea. It wouldn't be packaged. It's something that has to be specially mixed.
Custom blending is our specialty. Now, if you just tell me what you want in it.
Darjeeling, Ceylon, and jasmine.
As a matter of fact, I just had a customer in here last week who ordered the very same thing.
That would have been Mrs.
Smithers.
Right, Mrs. Smithers. Yes, it's very important that we speak with Mrs. Smithers. Do you happen to have her address?
Yes. Prospect Muse.
Thank you very much. Well, let's go.
Hey, wait, hold it. Stop. Right there. I am not walking one more foot. We can take a cab with the company. Hey, taxi!
I just need to hear her voice. If anyone can make me feel better, it's Nanny McTavish.
Darling, wouldn't you say you're a little old to be running to Nanny?
I need someone to run to.
It's out of the question.
But you said...
I said we'd see.
I see. So the plan is that you cut me off from everybody who's dear to me.
Oh, Holly, don't say that. Now, you don't understand, darling.
I heard Percy.
Yeah, but he said just for a little while.
Till it's passed over. Well, how long will that be? How can Percy or anyone know when this is going to end? And don't say that time will heal all wounds, because for some people it just makes them fester. Oh, I should have run away with Luke when I had the chance.
You couldn't. You knew that.
I had the opportunity. I could have started over.
But how long would it have lasted? Your past always catches up with you. Either that or it's snapping at your heels.
We could have outrun it.
Well, you could. You're young, strong. Sometimes you're going to have to stop. And then there they are.
What's the matter, Father? Why have you given in?
Darling, I'm tired. Just tired of fighting. Oh, I'm so sorry, Holly. I'll never forgive myself for getting you involved in all this.
It's not your fault.
No, I pushed you into it.
It was barely a nudge. At one point, all I was interested in was being part of this tradition.
If I'd been a good father, I would have stopped you.
How could you know? How could I know? They just hadn't selected poor Charles. If I hadn't met Luke. Just think.
You?
Oh, yes, hello.
Hello?
Are you Miss McTavish?
I am.
Well, you certainly have a beautiful garden.
Well, thank you, young man.
Do you know Holly Sutton?
Knew her. I practically raised her as a child. Are you a friend of hers?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, maybe more than a friend.
Good. Then you're a friend of mine, too. But tell me where and how she is.
Well, actually, we were hoping that you could tell us.
Oh, I haven't seen Holly in over a year now. Haven't heard from her in months. The last letter I got, she was in England.
I see. Miss McTavish, you care for Holly a great deal, don't you?
Like she's my own child.
Well, what I have to tell you may be a bit shocking. It's possible that Holly could be in some trouble, and I want to help her because, well, I care for her a great deal, too. But in order for me to help her, you have to help me.
I liked him even as a boy. He was the type who tortured cats and pulled the wings off of flies.
He hasn't changed.
You're right, you know. They made Holly go through with it. I don't know how, but they must have done something to force her to sign that check.
I'm concerned for her safety.
Percy is a different stripe altogether. He's just rich with a hunger to be richer, but I don't believe that he would allow anything to happen to Holly.
Then why would they be holding her prisoner?
Well, to keep her from seeing you. They consider you a bad influence.
Well, they're right.
You say they disappeared.
Just locked up the townhouse and left.
But then they're more than likely at the country place.
Then all you have to do is tell us where that is.
Of course, but that doesn't solve your problem. The country place is walled and gated and heavily guarded. There's no way for Holly to get out or for you to get in.
Please, there must be a way, Miss McTavish.
Preferably one that keeps us out of the line of fire.
Well, there is one way, a little path that leads into the garden.
I had a feeling you were going to come up with something.
But no, that's much too dangerous. Oh. I have a better idea. In 2 days, they are going to be celebrating the annual feast day and bazaar at St. Luke's Church in Oak Bay. Now, Holly's mother started this bazaar years and years ago, and it's a tradition for the family to attend.
So you're saying that Holly might be there?
Well, if Holly's with them at the country place, Holly will be at the bazaar. And I'm going to find out if she's there.
No, Miss McTavish, I don't think that we ought to allow you to get involved in this.
What? If my Holly is in trouble, you just try and stop me, young man. Come in. Come in for a cup of tea. Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to go see Holly.
In the garden? That's too dangerous.
Mrs. McTavish said that she has Basil covered.
Look, he's not the only enemy. You could find yourself very dead.
I could find myself dead crossing the street.
You need backup. I'll get the check.
Thank you, Robert. I want to do this alone.
Look, just humor me for once, will you? Use your head.
This is the chance I've been waiting for, Robert. A chance to see her, talk to her, and get some answers.
You're going to wind up with a knife in the back or a bullet through the brain.
I'll be careful.
You're thinking with your heart. There's got to be a safer way to get to Holly.
This is the only way I've got right now.
But it's too dangerous. Look, this is just going to make it worse for her, worse for everybody.
It was her idea. If it was going to make it worse for her or if it wasn't safe, I think she would have known that.
Well, maybe she's not thinking too clearly either.
Do you think you're the only person in this city who is thinking clearly?
Well, since you bring it up...
All right, look, I'll take advice from you anytime, pal, believe me. But I don't take orders and I don't take ultimatums, okay?
Boy, they're right. Love really is blind, isn't it?
Robert, I'm working on instinct. Don't confuse me with logic.
What have I told you about instinct? It's for budgerigars and dogs.
Well, that's all I got at this point, man.
Look, let me remind you of a few incidental, logical points here.
All right, what?
The money is there, somewhere. We're here to get it. If they know we're here, they'll simply move it. We'll never get our hands on it.
You have a very fine way with words.
It's being my usual, logical, boring self. Now you may run off and grope your woman in private.
Thank you.
And maybe even slobber some sweet nothings in her ear. But you find out where that cash is.
Got it.
Look, if you're not out of there within a reasonable time, I'm coming in there to get you.
Okay. Thank you. I feel a lot better knowing you're backing me up.
Should we order another?
If you like.
I like. 2 more, thanks, mate. This is a dangerous madness, you know.
Fine madness. That's what love is. You don't believe in love, do you, Mr. Scorpio?
Not when it's inconvenient, contrived, and costly, no.
That's what you think of my Holly?
I don't know what to think, love.
She loves your friend very much.
She better love him enough to part with a few secrets, otherwise we're all in big trouble.
Well, if she knew where that cursed money was, don't you think that she would tell them?
Well, she's hardly been the model of candor to date.
Holly couldn't help herself.
Look, I don't really want to shatter your faith in that family, but they helped themselves to a whole lot of money that they weren't entitled to.
She was forced into it.
Perhaps.
You doubt her sincerity, don't you?
Honesty's a better word.
She cares about your friend so very much.
Well, she's got a bizarre way of showing it.
You don't like her, do you?
I don't like the way she does things. I mean, if I can be blunt here.
Oh, that seems to be a characteristic of yours. Please.
Look, Nanny, Luke and I are in big trouble because of what Holly and her family did. Mind you, we didn't come out of it as badly as a couple of scientists that got involved in this swindle. They wound up dead. Also, perhaps not quite as badly as some of the residents of Port Charles that lost their life savings in the swindle.
You blame Holly for that?
Maybe I do, yeah.
Well, what could she do with that devil Basil threatening her? She had to go along with them.
Look, she may have you and Luke convinced, but my only consideration is the money and getting it back to the people that believed in us.
My consideration is for my Holly. I want to see her safe and happy. And I want to be sure that Luke is the right man for her and not just someone that is using her to get that money back.
Luke's on the level. You got my word on that.
You have my word that Holly loves him and will do whatever she can to make amends.
So what do we have here? Stalemate or a draw?
Oh, I think a better word for it is an understanding.
Okay, you're on.
Hey, it's time that we better be going.
Oh, let's give the poor devils a few more minutes yet.
Why, Mr. Scorpio, I'm beginning to develop a strange kind of likeness for you.
Likewise, darling. Cheers.
Well, you're at least consistent. I mean, where's mine?
Oh, sorry. You got anything?
No. You?
I'm working on it.
All right. Let's nail down the specifics.
What we need is something totally off the wall.
What do you call this whole arrangement?
Oh, no, man. I mean, like the approach has to be so strange, so unexpected, so totally bizarre that they would never expect it to happen.
That's at least specific.
Of course, the problem is to get into the estate and out of there without them even knowing that we've been there.
All right. That's a good theory, but put it into practical terms.
I don't know if I can. Trojan horse. Fire engine.
Okay, all right. Even if we manage to get inside there, can you be sure that Holly is going to come with us?
Yes.
She's going to choose us over the family.
Wouldn't you?
I still don't like the odds.
Well, then help me improve them.
Okay. We storm the walls, we break down the barricades. Now, you won't use the police, and I doubt that the fire department are for hire. So how do we get the hands on the money?
No, we'll just get the people first, then we'll worry about the money later. How about an ambulance?
Yeah, we could always drug her and then drag her out.
I'm serious, Robert.
All right, you're serious and I'm confused. Where do we go from here?
Everybody's afraid of a medical emergency, right? I mean,
right.
That's universal, so we'll have a medical emergency. Who would refuse that? Don't you think it's worth exploring?
Lacking anything better, it's no more or less ridiculous than anything we've already tried.
Oh, right. Thank you for the Aussie optimism.
It's all right. Where do we get an ambulance?
Let's find out.
What can I get for you, gents?
Well, just a little information.
Oh, yours. Unless, of course, you want to know how to get girls or something like that, because I haven't got the slightest idea.
Well, that's really not our problem.
Oh, I wish I could say the same thing.
Yeah. See, we're ambulance drivers from the state. Well, actually, we were ambulance drivers from the state.
Laid off, huh?
Yeah. We were wondering what the situation was like up here.
Oh, same as any other place. Not good. As a matter of fact, we've only got 2 ambulances in town, and one of them's out of commission right now.
What happened?
Well, one of my regulars run in with it. Totaled his Jeep. Just dented the fender of the ambulance. It's down the paint shop and down the street.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, could have been worse. Could have hit a cop.
What about the other one?
That's all right. Never mind. We'll look somewhere else.
Whatever.
Thank you anyway.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you could try the funeral home.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Well, I found our ambulance. Yeah, but one of them's out of commission.
Well, it's all right. We'll fix it. Didn't you bring your tools?
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for the owner. Alf?
I'm him.
This is Dr. Spender from the States.
Yes, we'd like to rent that ambulance.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow? Well, I ain't done painting it. I had a rush job on that silver green Bentley.
Silver green?
Well, it was this morning. Some damn fool chit of a girl drove in, wanted me to paint the green trim silver, modify the grill, switch over the bloody right-hand drive to left, and add an antenna mount. Overnight. Do you believe it?
It sounds Looney Tunes. What does she look like?
Oh, a bird, about so tall, lovely shaped. Brown hair, beautiful blue eyes.
Familiar to you?
Last seen with a body that shall remain nameless.
Also, seen at the ferry when the luggage came over from the States.
Thinking what I'm thinking.
Tell me, when is the Looney Tune lady going to pick up this silver green Bentley? There. Couch? No, let's put him in the bedroom. Okay. Polly, call the desk. See if they can get a doctor up here right away.
Yes, this is Suite 410. Would you please send for a doctor? We need him as soon as possible. My father is very sick. Thank you.
Any luck?
They said they have a doctor on call all the time, so he should be here very soon.
Good. He's asking for you.
He looks pretty sick.
Well, he's better off here than in Durban prison. At least we're getting him a doctor.
Well, it's wonderful, but what about us?
Well, I feel pretty good. What about you?
Well, I'm curious as to the next move.
Well, we got the money. We've got Holly. It's a good start.
Yeah, well, that's about all it is.
Come on, Robert, we're home free.
Not quite.
Except for a few minor details.
Ah, yeah. One being the fact that the money is still downstairs in the car, and I'm going to get it.
Why not? Leave it there. It's not going anywhere.
Well, I really would like to be sure of that.
Robert, nobody knows the cash is in the car. It's going to be safe where it is.
We'll say somebody steals the car.
Oh, 1,000,000 to 1.
We're talking about a Bentley here.
Well, then 100 to 1. We'll just have to take a chance on it.
Well, why risk it, Luke?
Well, what do you want to do? You want to waltz through the lobby with $2 million, give it to the bellboy, and tell him to go hang it in the closet?
Well, at least we'd know where it is.
Robert, we know where it is. And that's where it's going to stay. All the hotel guests, all the staff would know where it is if we try to move it.
All right. But what do you suggest?
I suggest we leave the money right where it is. We have other things to worry about. You should know that.
Yeah, well, I'm getting a bit sick of knowing that. Look, this high wire act is getting out of control. We're pushing our luck.
We made it this far, didn't we?
This far isn't far enough. We're not back there yet.
No, and until I talk to Holly's father, we can't really go much further.
Now is the time.
We already got the money, Robert. What do we need them for?
The DIM could protect us.
Who's going to protect us from them?
Hey, look. How do you know that Percy hasn't already alerted other factions in the Durban household? I mean, there might be the Vancouver chapter could be after us as we speak.
Robert, we defeated the first team. There's no reason to worry about substitutes.
Yeah, if we bring in some reinforcements.
All right, suppose we go to the DIM. What then?
We get help.
You know what we get? We get the money impounded, we get Hawley in prison, we get enough Canadian bureaucracy and red tape to put us in the middle of an international incident.
We could explain the whole thing to the DIM.
Yeah, if we stay around here and try and fight Percy and the others, man, it's going to take weeks. And there is no guarantee that we'll win. These people can do no wrong around here.
Yeah, which is a great reason to get the hell out of here as soon as possible.
Well, I'm ready to do that as soon as we can manage it.
All right. How do we get the money back to Port Charles?
I'll think of some way.
All right. Well, while you're thinking about it, I'm going to call Jackie. Any message for Ruby?
No. I'll call her later.
I'll say hello.
Do that.
Maybe by the time I get back, he'll have come up with some other cockeyed scheme for me to shoot holes in.
Well, make it quick.
Why?
I've already got one.
Oh, I thought you'd at least dwell on it for a moment or two.
No, if I dwell on it, I'll think about it. If I think about it, I'll change my mind.
Well, it's halfway encouraging.
I think you're right about going to the authorities.
What's this? You've come to your senses?
I just think that you want to go to the wrong ones.
I doubt that Scotland Yard will really be interested in this.
No, but the Port Charles Police Department might be.
Ramsey?
Yeah. I'm going to call Ramsey, and I'll make a deal with him. Or I'll try to. If he goes for it, we're halfway home. Operator, I'd like information.
Yeah, Luke, where are you?
I'm just fine. Bert, how are you?
Oh, come on, I'm warning you, Spencer. Tell me...
I was wondering why you called.
Look, if you don't tell me where you are, I'm...
Save your breath, Captain. I got a little deal for you.
Look, I am not making any deals with you
Just
until you...
Listen to me. I'm not going to give you a chance to trace this call, so get it right the first time, pal. I'm willing to return to Port Charles with all the money, every cent of the $2 million.
What do you want from me?
Your word that neither Holly or her father will be prosecuted for their part in it. And if you agree, we're in business.
I can't do that, Luke. No way. No deal. You heard me, Luke. No deals.
We're hardly in a bargaining position.
It's the only way to save Holly.
Just don't blow our ticket out of here.
What else can I do? What'll it be, Bert?
Same as before, Luke. No dice. You and Scorpio come back with the money and your friends, and then I'll see what I can do for you.
No, you got it backwards, Captain. You do something for me, and I'll bring the money home.
Spencer, I am warning you.
Not again now. That is the second time you've threatened me in this phone call.
Look, you are in no position to be setting conditions for your return here.
And you're in no position to be toying with the town's money.
Me?
Yeah, well, it's up to you. All you got to do is agree to my little generous offer, and the investors get every cent of their money back.
Luke, I can't do that.
Well, I'm afraid then we have nothing to talk about, Captain.
I hope you know what you're doing.
So do I.
Wait.
Were you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you. Look, I haven't got the authority to give you what you want.
Well, then you're wasting my time.
But I'll do what I can.
Which is exactly what?
I'll talk to the DA's office.
Well, that's a start.
But no guarantees, Luke.
That's life.
And while I'm waiting for that decision, I really should know where you are.
Well, while I'm waiting for an answer, I'll try to decide if I'm going to tell you or not.
Oh, come on, Spencer. You said that
Well, when we've got a deal, not until then. And when we have a deal, you can come right to where Robert and I are, and you can help us carry that money right back to Port Charles.
Look, Luke, I am trying to do my part, and I think that the least that you
I'll call you back in an hour. By then, you should have an answer. Oh, by the way, Bert.
Yes, I'm listening.
Don't bother to try and trace this call. I know how you guys operate with a little bit of notice. When I call again, I'll be on the phone just long enough for you to say yes or no. You got it?
Yes, I've got it. One more thing for you. If I do a great sales job with the DA, maybe he'll buy your proposal.
Ah, good. I knew I could count on you.
And let Holly free. But as far as Charles goes, I doubt it very much. You just be prepared for that, Luke.
Well, all we can do is ask, right? Why don't you just go tap dance your way into their hearts, Bert? I know that you can when you try.
Look, if I were that good a dancer, you never would have gotten away.
Not true. I'm a better dancer.
You're a better...
I'll talk to you in 1 hour, Bert.
Call the DA's office, see if he can come over here right away.
Yes, sir.
Who are you talking to?
Bert Ramsey. I ran up the white flag. We surrendered. I'm afraid he's too tough for us.
Really? Why did you call him?
Well, I was trying to make a little deal.
What kind of deal?
Nothing special.
Luke, would you please tell me?
Oh, here, I'll get that. Ah, come in, please.
You called for a doctor?
Yes, right this way.
Yeah, I'll take him in, but I'll be back.
You're going to have to tell us sooner or later.
I know, Robert. I'm going to make it later.
Right. What did Ramsey say?
He agreed to go to the DA's office. He thinks there may be a possibility for Holly, but he doesn't think that they're going to give Charles immunity.
Okay, so how do you tell her that she's free, but Daddy spends the rest of his days in the can?
Look, pal, I haven't the slightest idea. I'm hoping that you might come up with a suggestion.
She's not going to like it.
Well, that much I already know.
Well, good luck with the rest of it. I'm going to call Jackie.
I was just going to call you. I want you to hear this as well. You're very ill. You should be hospitalized immediately.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
Nonetheless, it is my professional opinion.
I appreciate that, Doctor, but I won't allow myself to be hospitalized under any condition.
Is that a religious preference?
Call it reverence for life.
Please, Father, be serious.
Darling, you know how I hate to be isolated, where someone can get to me.
But you can't just...
Look, I can't give the Durbans a chance to reach me. You can imagine how they must have been affected by our hasty departure. They'd like nothing better than to get their hands on me.
We wouldn't let them touch you.
I wouldn't last an hour in the hospital.
We appreciate your coming by, Doctor.
He's right, you know.
You'll be fine.
I'm so tired.
You can rest as long as you like.
Darling, promise me something.
Anything.
You won't let them separate us, Holly, until I'm sure that you're going to be all right.
Yeah, Ramsey here.
All right, what'll it be, Bert? Yes or no?
Yes, Luke, but not everything you wanted.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like I thought. The DA's office said that, yes, they will give immunity to Holly, but not Charles. If he comes back, he's going to be prosecuted.
Man, they never give an inch, do they?
Well, they're letting Holly off.
Well, you know the Durbans forced Charles to participate.
Luke, he can tell that to the court.
Bert, he's not well. He's too sick to stand trial.
Then it'll be delayed until he's able to take part. You know how accommodating our legal system is.
And he'll die in prison.
Luke, I can't help that.
Listen, did you talk to the DA?
His assistant.
Well, maybe if you talk to the DA...
No. Look, this is it, official and final.
Can't you do anything?
It's out of my hands. If I were you, I'd take what I can get.
Well, I'll think about it.
Suit yourself, but now tell me where you are.
Not yet.
Oh, come on now, Luke, you said...
Look, I'll call you back, all right?
Hey, we had a deal.
We made half a deal.
I did what I could at my end.
Yeah, well, now I got to do the same. I got to do the same at my end before the whole damn thing falls apart.
What's going on?
You better make it quick, Luke, because I just don't know how long this offer will stand.
All right, Bert, look, you got a deal. We're at the Dominion Hotel in Vancouver.
Dominion Hotel. Don't move a muscle. I'll be there as soon as possible.
Bert, will you give it one more try?
You mean about Charles Sutton?
Yeah.
Look, I did my best. No deal.
Just one more try with feeling.
Luke, why do I care what happens to you? All right, all right. I'll give it one more try before I leave.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you. Hey, babe. How's your father?
He's resting. What do you mean, before everything falls apart?
Well, that was just a figure of speech.
Who are you talking to?
Look, just excuse me for a second here. I'm going to dash out for something to eat. I don't suppose you two want anything now, okay?
Oh, Robert.
Welcome to Vancouver.
Thank you. You alone?
Just to meet you, mate.
Well, where's the DIM? Where's your protection? These guys are killers.
Yeah, well, tell me about it. But a deal's a deal.
What do you mean a deal? A deal with whom?
With Luke. Now, let's get back to the hotel. Come on.
Oh, Robert, I'm glad you're here.
Well, everything seems to be under control, sweetheart. Where's Luke? Getting dressed?
Oh, no, he stepped downstairs for just a moment. He'll be right back.
You said he'd be here.
He will be here. Oh, Nanny, sorry. This is Captain Ramsey of the Port Charles Police Department.
How do you do?
Ma'am, are you sure that Luke Spencer is coming back here?
Oh, you have my word on it, Captain.
Nanny always keeps her word.
I hope so. Oh, Miss Sutton.
Hello,
It's been a long time. I must say that I never expected to see you again.
Well, I hope you're pleasantly surprised.
In this case, yes, because Scorpio here told me that you helped get the money back.
It happens to be the truth.
It's the only thing that saved you, Miss Sutton. Helping to get that money back for the people of Port Charles.
I would hate to see any of those people lose anything because of me.
Oh? Then why did you sign that check?
Because Oliver put a gun to her father's head.
And committing a crime under duress isn't a crime.
Look, don't give me that, Bert.
Hey.
No, Robert. Are you pursuing a line of questioning, Captain? Or are you just trying to be insulting?
Well, I'm just trying to pass the time.
Then may I suggest you find a more pleasant way of passing the time?
You may suggest it.
You don't like me very much, do you?
Miss Sutton, I really don't know you well enough to like you or to dislike you. But I don't like what you are.
Not what I am, what I was.
Well, only time will tell that.
I don't owe you an apology, but if it'll make you feel any better, I do regret very much what happened.
Well, that's nice. Does your father regret it, too? I assume that he is here.
He's in the other room resting. I'd rather not disturb him until we have to.
Well, as long as I'm calling the roll, how about Luke Spencer? This lady here, Nanny, is it?
Yes.
She said that Luke went downstairs and he'll be right back here. Do you agree with that?
Captain Ramsey, no one is deceiving you. Not anymore.
I'm relieved to hear that. Oh, look who's here.
Robert?
What's wrong, mate?
Small problem. I just was down at the car. The money's gone.
Are you talking about the money?
Yeah, Bert, the money, all of it.
Where was it?
Locked in the car park downstairs.
The car's still there, man. It doesn't even look like it's been broken into.
It wasn't.
What do you mean?
Watch. Voila. Every dime.
Oh. Well, you have an explanation for this?
Sure. Well, I got a bit worried about it in the middle of the night, so I went down and got it. I just didn't want to disturb you.
Disturb me? You took 10 years off a life that can't spare them.
Hey, look, I didn't want to do that. But it seemed like a good idea at the time. Besides, you never can be sure who's going to run off with the Bentley.
It was a great idea.
Now, let's get back on the track. The money is here. The next step is your father. You said he's here in a room?
Yes, he's in that room there, resting.
Well, I'm afraid he's going to have to wake up.
But he's a very sick man.
Whether he is sick or not, he is still wanted by the district attorney in Port Charles.
Isn't there anything you can do? Like you helped me. Couldn't you just do something, please?
Thank you.
Captain Ramsey, I realize that the district attorney back in Port Charles isn't willing to make any kind of a deal concerning my father. But we're not in Port Charles. We're not even in the United States.
I don't know what you're getting at.
I'm not sure I do either.
Well, what I'm trying to say is maybe Captain Ramsey would allow my father to stay here if that's what he wants to do.
Look, love, we'd all like to help your father, really, but, I don't think you understand quite the position the captain's in here.
Which I can explain for myself, thank you, Robin. Young lady, I may be a captain, but when it comes to the bottom line, I'm still a cop. Which means that I don't make the laws, I enforce them. It also means that I don't make deals, the district attorney does. I just do what he tells me to do.
What if you came here to Vancouver and you couldn't find my father?
Well, I would just stay here until I did. That's rather academic, isn't it? You said he's sleeping in the next room, which means I have found him.
And you must take him back?
I must enforce the law. He is wanted in Port Charles. My job, the only job I have, incidentally, is to bring him back to face charges.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Sure.
What if he refuses to go?
Be very silly of him, Luke. All I would do is call the local authorities, the DIM, tell them that I am here to pick up an alleged criminal so that he can face trial. I'm sure all they would do is help me do my job.
And we all know what wonderful cooperation there is on both sides of the border.
That's right.
All right, let me... Just one more shot in the dark. What if you call and tell him the truth? That you found him, that he's very ill. Do you think on that basis maybe they'll reconsider a deal with him?
All of that was known before I came here. The district attorney agreed, because of her help in returning the money, that he would give Holly immunity. As far as her father, no deal. I can't call him now and ask him to change his mind.
But it's different.
Look, let me warn you. Luke, don't try to prevent me from taking him back, because if you do, I'll call the DIM and they'll stop you.
I think we understand that.
Good.
There's not one thing you're willing to do to help him? Nothing at all?
It has nothing to do with my willingness. I'm here to do a job. And my job is to take your father back to Fort Charles. I think most of you people know I can be as patient as the next man, but it's time that we got moving.
Okay. What do you want to do first?
Well, isn't that rather obvious? I came all this way to take Charles Sutton back with me, and even though he's ill, that's what I have to do. Which room did you say he's in?
Right here, Captain.
Oh.
Father, you shouldn't be out of bed.
Captain Ramsey, I'm sorry I can't say that I'm delighted to see you, but it doesn't seem appropriate at the moment.
Well, we all have to do jobs that we don't enjoy. How are you feeling?
Oh, quite well, thank you.
That's not true. He's very ill.
Never mind, Luke. I know what I must do.
Oh, no.
Nanny, it's all right, I assure you. Captain.
Yes?
May I ask a favor? A great favor. I'd like to have a few moments alone with my daughter.
I have no objection to that.
We'll go into the bedroom if you don't mind. I assure you I have no intention of trying a daring escape.
Go right ahead.
Thank you.
Father, you look so pale. Can I get you anything?
Darling, it's a little late for remedies. What I hope is that you'll just listen and try to understand.
Of course.
You know, at my age, a man has a way of looking back to the past. I think that's the difference between the young and the old. The young, like you, look forward so eagerly to tomorrow. I tend to look to the past and remember yesterday.
I remember yesterdays, too, with you.
Do you? I wonder if you know how much that means to me, to hear you say that. Because when I look at my yesterdays and today and sum up the present and all the past, I realize only one thing, that I'm blessed, doubly blessed, because I've had a daughter like you. I want you to know that, dear. My life has been strange. But because of you, there's so much in it that I treasure.
I treasure you.
Do you? Oh, darling, that's reassuring, too. Because I haven't given you a good life. And I know that. More than anyone. Do you forgive me?
Forgive you? I'm grateful for every moment we've had together.
For the good and the bad?
All of it.
Darling, that helps, too. More than you know. Because now, at last, I finally see that all my yesterdays and today and my future now all meld into one.
I've loved every minute of my life with you. I still do. It's not over.
Darling, let's just say it's come to an impasse. A little more than that. For many years, so many years, I thought that I
Well, that a man didn't have to pay for his wrongdoings. Not all men, certainly not me. But I was wrong, Holly. I do have to pay, same as any other man. Darling, I want to ask one more thing of you.
Anything.
Know that I pay willingly, even gladly. Because at least you will not have to pay, too.
I would pay, too.
No, darling. This I must do alone. I'd like to think that somehow you're still beside me.
Oh, I will be always.
That's all I wanted to hear. Come on. Let's join the others.
Wait a minute. I love you.
Holly. Captain.
Yes.
Ready when you are.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
All right, everything's ready, Robert.
Thanks, darling.
Holly, all set?
I'll just go and call Father. Father? Oh, I was just coming to get you. You shouldn't be lifting me.
No, darling. I'm quite all right. Now, remember, you be strong.
I'll try.
Well, Nanny, I guess this is goodbye.
Take care of my girl, Luke.
You can count on it.
I'll give these to the security guard outside.
All right, bye.
Nanny, I'm going to miss you so much.
I'm going to think about you every minute, dear.
Bye, Nanny.
Bye, Charlie.
Come on, we all set, folks?
Okay.
Come on.
Let's go right now, Captain.
All right. What's it? John, grab it.
Oh, no.
I got a catch. Holly, get a doctor.
Look at him, Captain. He can't possibly leave here.
All right, now just calm down. Don't everybody get excited. Take it easy.
Father.
Look at this, Captain. He can't go anywhere.
Luke, I understand that. But the rest of us are still going. I'll call the DIM, and they can send an ambulance, and we'll put Charles in a hospital under a security guard. Nanny? Yes. Can you stay here with him until the hospital ambulance gets here?
Of course, but let me put a pillow under his head.
All right, Luke. Miss Sutton, come on. We can't wait another minute. We've got to go. I'll call the DIM from downstairs.
All right, come on, let's go.
I can't leave him. I can't possibly
You
leave
can, darling, and you must. Danny will be right here with me, won't you?
Of course.
Holly.
Captain's waiting, Holly.
Holly, come on. Come on, darling. It'll be all right.
I'll call a doctor, Charles. Everything's going to be fine.
I know, Nanny. Now everything will be fine.
Well, folks, we may as well wait right here till they call our flight. It should only be another minute or two.
I can't help but think about my father. Anything could have happened by now.
Maybe take it easy. Nanny's with him. You heard Bert call the DIM. I'm sure he's on his way to the hospital by now. He'll be fine.
Your attention, please. Flight 861 is now ready for boarding at gate number 45. Please have your boarding passes ready as you board the plane. Flight 861 is now ready for boarding at gate number 45.
That's us, folks.
Bert, can you give us 1 minute? We'll meet you at the gate.
Oh, come on now, Luke. Don't pull anything now.
Bert, you can trust him.
All right, a minute.
That's all I need. Thank you.
We'll wait for you at gate 45.
Come on.
Well, it won't be much longer now.
Hope you're ready for the welcoming party.
You mean the lynch mob, don't you?
Oh, come on. You've dealt with the press before.
It's not them that worries me, it's the others. The investors, the friends, the enemies.
Well, why not look on the bright side? At least you don't have to worry about getting confetti in your hair.
What about a police escort?
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll take good care of the money.
That's not what worries me.
Come here, sit down and talk to me, man. What's going on? I thought you'd be elated that Robert's coming back.
You haven't been privy to our conversations lately.
What you Did you have a fight?
No. He's just been so cold and distant on the phone. Tiffany, I just don't understand this attitude that he has. He opens up and he lets me get close, but just not too close, and then he puts up a nice brick wall. I'm really in love with him, and he treats it like a joke.
I know what you're talking about.
I mean, what is it? Is he afraid to settle down? Or... Tiffany, is it just that he doesn't love me?
Well, Jackie, maybe he's just afraid. Maybe he's afraid because he does love you so much.
I mean, I don't even want to settle down. That's not what I'm after at all.
Well, tell him that.
A commitment to him is like a jail sentence.
Well, maybe he's changed. Maybe this little adventure, you know, changed him. Maybe he's tired of that old life he had. Maybe he wants to change with you.
Come on, you don't believe that, do you?
Anything's possible. Come on, do me a favor, Jackie. Just give him a chance to explain.
About 1 minute, that's all.
Well, what about extradition?
The DIM said they'd work on it, but they've got to find him first.
That shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, now their cover's been blown.
I wouldn't be too sure. A lot of politics involved. The Durbins are a very powerful family.
Oh, look, what difference does that make? I mean, it's been proven they're nothing better than a bunch of common criminals.
Yes, but the crimes were committed in Port Charles. That's a long way from Victoria. Now it'll be up to the Port Charles DA to bring them back for prosecution.
Well, we can't let them get away with this.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Once the DA has all the facts, he's going to want to nail them.
It's been my proven experience that DAs will nail anybody in order to save their hides.
Well, now you don't trust the DA.
Damn right.
I'm curious, Scorpio. Just who do you trust?
Myself.
Is that why you didn't bring me in on this thing earlier?
Truth.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring you or the DIM in right from the beginning.
Well, what stood in your way?
Sitting in the opposite aisle. I mean, you know what he's like once he makes his mind up about something.
A brick wall.
About the width of his skull.